Hello and welcome to my channel. Here I go over new movies and television shows. I release new content Monday to Friday. Today we're going over Kingslayer. It stars John Rhys-Davies, Ryan Gage, and David Heyman. The film is written and directed by Stuart Brennan, who also plays the role of Richard the Lionheart. The plot is simple and easy to explain, but is surprisingly action-packed. Prince Richard the Lionheart has snuck out of his castle without his guard to meet with a young woman named Leah. Leah and Richard are flirting and traveling through the Kingswood when a group of assassins attempts to kill him. Leah takes an arrow for her king, and the two are forced to fight their way out of the forest. Meanwhile, William Marshall sends the king's personal chaplain Anselm to go and find him. Anselm, armed with his trusty mace, heads out looking for Richard. The story is really fun and engaging. It's got these two contrasting storylines that play really well off of each other. There's a lot of action and has great characters that you'll fall in love with. Leah and Richard have this amazing connection with one another, and seeing them work together to make it through the forest is highly entertaining. The plot is straightforward, but ends on a somber and surprising tone. I think they could have played out the action scenes a little better and made each leg of their journey through the forest more unique, but I like the overall story. The acting is superb. From the main cast, we have Carolina Carlson putting on a strong performance as Leah, the lover of Richard. She had great chemistry with Stuart Brennan, and I really came to enjoy the playful and light atmosphere that she brings to the screen. She showed off a solid range of emotions while being incredibly charismatic. There are a lot of other solid performances in here as well. John Rhys-Davies plays William Marshall as the tired protector of Richard, but isn't given a lot of screen time. David Heyman plays a vile and cowardly henchman who gets his comeuppance. Although he's only in one scene, it's one of the most satisfying scenes in the movie. Ellie Rose McKinley is also fantastic during her conversations with Ryan Gage. There was a nice rhythm going on between them. The soundtrack isn't very memorable, but it is fitting. All of the tracks are simple instrumental pieces meant to match the mood of a given scene and often achieve their desired effect without standing out. Sadly, it's all generic fantasy music. At times, the ambient noise in the film can overpower the dialogue a bit, and it's hard to hear during those scenes. The big example in my mind was at the beginning when the guard captain and the priest are talking to one another. This film looks very low budget, and it's obvious they didn't have much money for the visuals. There are some nice scenic shots of the forest, but the fights are choppy and over-rely on off-screen implied violence. Shots of Anselm and Richard swinging their weapons and getting splattered with the blood of someone you can't see. Most of the action is like this, but there are a couple of cool sword fights. One of them is against a nameless henchman, and the other is against the main villain, but it doesn't last very long. I found this movie highly entertaining, and was surprised at how much I liked it, despite its obvious flaws. It looks and feels like a low-budget film. There is a kind of passion and love behind it that is worth a lot to me. The story is fun and engaging, characters are likable and interesting, and it doesn't shy away from tragedy. It's a modern attempt at Shakespeare, and while it could have been done better, I'd still recommend it. 6 out of 10.